from the new album, Drama Queen, which is on the way next month. But I got to have a bit of a sneaky listen to it the other day whilst tending to my flower beds. Yes, it's the review Idina has been waiting for. Drama Queen, it's great to garden to.
I'm so glad it's a good weed pulling album. That's great.
It really is. Once you get into the rhythm of it and all the tracks. I mean, just tell me about the album. What's the inspiration behind it? Because it's quite upbeat, it's quite disco-ish, it's quite different to what I would usually expect from you.
It's a dance disco album because I felt like I really wanted to write an album that would be fun, celebratory, and liberating. An album that I didn't feel like the audience had to sort of sit in their seats and behave and be polite, that they could get up and dance and move. And often the kind of music that supports really big vocalists, melodic, dynamic singers is dance, disco music. You know, I wanted to sort of walk in the footsteps of some of the great singers that I've always been inspired by. Donna Summer obviously was an incredible singer. Diana Ross. Cher went back to her dance album and had the most success with those songs. I felt like it was actually an organic transition, one that people maybe wouldn't expect from me in the beginning and then would seem like a really normal once they heard it. And I'm just so glad that people are getting the message, which is to really embrace all of the large, big, bold emotions we may have as drama queens and putting the positive spin on the word, you know, that those of us who feel things really boldly, that's what makes us who we are. It's what makes us interesting human beings.
I love that. And I loved that it came through your album as well, because you use the word emotional. And I often think, especially with women, sometimes they can be seen as being emotional, and it's a very negative thing. And you can be sat in meetings feeling like you're having all of these feelings and you can't really express them because it's not what's expected. And yet your album just turns everything into a positive, and it's seen as a strength almost. And I just think it's a really powerful thing to sit, or weed in my case, and have an album full of positivity.
Yes, and definitely. And if I'm not feeling positive, I'm searching for the positive take on it. What I deal with in my own life is I'm not always the most positive. I do have days where it's hard to get out of bed. And so I'm always searching especially now being a mother and wanting to project the right energy to my son and him see a powerful woman doing what she loves to do for a living and having good self-esteem, all those things. It's important to me to sort of put that out there. And I know people would assume with the kind of songs that I've been known for singing that, you know, that I'm always defying gravity or letting it go. But I'm not always. And I'd rather people know that I sing those songs and I sing that kind of music with that messaging, with aspirations to be like that, but that I understand that it's not always possible for us to feel that way.
I think one of my favorite lyrics came in the song Make Me Hate Me, where you say, I'm only human, can't promise that I won't cry. I actually stopped in my tracks when I heard that lyric and thought, that's just me. That's me to a T.
I know. Well, yes, I think you hit the nail on the head when you said, as women, we have become sort of fearful of our anger, of our power, you know, and it is sort of mirrored in Elsa or Alpha Buddy's characters. I've played it because they are these young women that did feel that if they were as large and as powerful as they could be, that they would alienate the people around them or hurt people around them in actuality. And so it's not until they really embrace that and surrender that they come into their own, you know, and beautiful things happen. And so I think as women, we need to feel that way too, and understand that we are entitled to take up space and to let our voices be heard.
Do you feel that responsibility? Because obviously you're somebody that inspires young children through your roles in Frozen, which we have to talk about because I absolutely adore that film. But also with Wicked, when you have a character that maybe at the start of her life isn't very well respected, but then comes into her own and becomes this huge, powerful person. So music has such a relevance to people's lives, even though you don't know them. You're writing songs that really speak to them and speak to their lives. Do you feel that responsibility?
Yes and no. I feel like as a songwriter, we need to definitely worry about being specific at first and then trusting that our specificity and authenticity to who we are will then sort of speak universally to people. And that's the only way that you can have a really good song, you know. But then there is a responsibility for me, being what I've been told I am a role model, especially to young people. That's a definite responsibility because, like I said before, you know, I have to practice what I preach. If I'm going to get up there and tell kids to really embrace who they are and have this kind of self-esteem, then I have to do that. And it's hard to always do that. So what's wonderful about the success that I have had, or that these songs that I get to sing every night when I'm on stage, is that they not only do they appeal and resonate with the audience, but they're reminders to me as a woman in her 50s now who's still struggling to figure that stuff out. So it's a reminder to me, a little kick in the butt, you know, to do my own work.
I love that you're reminding yourself and you're kicking yourself in the butt to get up and let it go and just be the best that you can be. I do want to talk about your musical theatre career, because it is something of legends. Like being part of Wicked, being part of Frozen, when I watched you be Maureen in Rent, it was just the most incredible thing. At what point did you think, oh, I've got quite a set of pipes on me, I can make a career out of this?
That's funny. When I was little, ever since I was 5, 6, 7 years old, I've been singing. I've been jumping up from behind the sofa, telling stories to my grandfather, whether they be monologues or songs. It's funny how when you're a kid, you're more fearless, aren't you? I believed then that I had something to offer, you know, that I was going to do something with my life having to do with performance. I really believe that. Even when I sang, when I was struggling and pounding the pavement, and I was singing at weddings and bar mitzvahs and no one was listening to me, I still had this deep sense that I had something to share with the world, you know. And sometimes as grown-ups, you know, or the more successful you get and the more scrutiny you experience, I think the more doubt that creeps in there. And it's so important for us to sort of remember our fearlessness as kids.
Is Frozen 3 on the way? Because as I've said, Frozen 1 and 2, iconic. Frozen 3, fingers crossed.
Yeah, it's been said that we are doing Frozen 3, and that is music to my ears. I swear to you, I'm not trying to be evasive. I have no idea what it's about. I haven't seen a script. I just know that they've said we're going to do it. No contracts have been signed or anything. So I'm excited, and I love it. I love making it. I love going in the studio every day and working on Elsa and working with the family I have at Disney. But that's all I can tell you, really.
Oh, still tease. I need to know more. Idina, thank you ever so much for spending the time with us today. I really appreciate it. Drama Queen is out on the 18th of August, and then Move and Dramatic, they're out now, aren't they?
Yes, they are. And thank you so much. I really appreciate it.